My name is Holly and welcome back to Chronicle. This is the home where some of my favourite people and I will get together, tell some awesome stories and hopefully take you guys along for the ride with us. Today, we're going to be playing some Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. So if you don't know what that is by now, it's about time you get to know, and we have the perfect place for you to do so. Right here. Shh, everyone, let me finish my intro. We have a new seating arrangement at the moment. Just bear with me while I control Lachlan.
Need a stick.
I have no.
I need like a talking stick. Anyway.
No, like a clean stick.
If only we were in the US, you could have a gun.
Oh shit!
Oh my! Shut up! Fuck off!
Is that
Today we're going to be playing
are we
Dungeons &
allowed
Dragons
to
5th edition. So if you don't know what that is by now, it's about time we get to know, and we have the perfect place for you to do so right here at Chronicle. It's been derailed already. We're returning. It's been derailed. Everyone is so bad. Okay.
It's been too long.
Long time no see. Yeah, we're returning to the world of Cthulhu. It's been a 2-week break. I think the 2-week break shows. Based on that intro. If you have missed any of our forays into the world of Cthulhu before, you can always check out the link down below to see our social media channels there. We have the Instagram. I'm a Chronicle Instagram enjoyer. Please go and follow that. We've got some great art from Xander, great art from Leah over there. Please go check that out. We also have the YouTube where all of our archive videos are over there. We have Xander's first arc of their campaign over there. Lachlan's campaign as well in the world of Planthera. His own creation, awesome world. Really enjoying it so far. Characters are great. And then we have all of the previous Cthulhu sessions as well. So please do check those out. If you have missed anything, we would greatly appreciate it.
Go click on the sad dog for Patreon.
Yes.
What?
There's a sad dog for our Patreon.
Yeah.
We're currently trying to afford it, Betcare.
Yeah. If you give us $100 on the Patreon, the dog will lose its cigarette, and if you give us even more money, it'll lose more sad things and become a happy dog.
Get neutered.
For every $100, the dog will smile for a week.
Oh, true.
Don't you want
Oh,
that?
I'm gonna give it $100.
Subscription models, people.
We make the dog not sing.
That being said, quick recap for last session for what we might have missed.
Sorry, I just the dog.
Oh no.
You seen the dog yet?
I'm trying to avoid seeing that. I don't want to see Is that a dog?
Is that a dog?
This is why it needs vet care.
It's got a really
No,
thick
it's not.
neck.
Oh.
It's drinking off-brand Heineken.
Close enough.
Anyway, a recap for last time. My god.
Aren't you so glad?
No, it's same. A recap for last time, you guys were exploring the inner works for a little bit. You went to have a conversation with Ichabod, who told you guys a bit more about being a Veil Watcher and connecting with spirits. Why is it on the outside of your shirt?
Wow.
James is wearing a watch on the outside of his shirt. For
Jump.
everyone.
That's
Guys, it's
wild.
a fashion statement.
It's a good great.
That's wow.
All James is doing senile.
I wasn't
Go.
doing. Anyway, that was my bad that time. We're never having any more mistakes.
No more
again.
bullying, James.
No more bullying,
Dude.
James. I'm very sorry. It was not intended as bullying. I thought it was. I didn't. I
Huh?
apologize.
No, I was
I
not doing
did
that
not
to be a
mean-
fashion statement. Let's make this clear. I put it on the outside of my shirt.
So you
'Cause...
chose to do that.
James is
just
senile.
Alright. I'm just gonna drown my sorrows in conch.
Gong.
Okay, you guys had a chat to Ichabod. Told you a little bit more about connecting to the Veil and some undead spirits. You guys also went to the Under Archive and did a little bit of research there as well. Last time, also, June's cousin, Ira, who's played by
Hi.
Ash, joined us at the table for the first time. trying to think, did I miss anything else? I don't think so. I think you guys just went straight back to the tavern after a couple of close calls with some authorities. And that's where we pick up this time. So, bear with me, I'm just going to get into our typical prologue. Let's go! The sound of heeled boots collides against polished, smooth stone. It fills the air, expanding into the silence of the space and joining the faint swish of linen robes and squeak of oiled leather. A heavy reverberates throughout the space as two doors of dark wood and silver slot into place, sealing the room shut from the hallway beyond. From where they're bent with their head over an enormous, ancient leather-bound tome, a figure lifts their gaze to the room's new occupant. Their eyes widen. Is that... The other figure doesn't deign to give them a response, continuing to walk forward. Papers are rustled within the room as the other figure hurriedly gathers them into piles, shutting the tome with a snap and slotting yellowed parchment back into place. Implements clatter to the floor as they attempt to clear a space for the figure who has not yet slowed their stride thus far. Faint rays of early morning sunlight seep in through the windows dotted around the room, spilling over the colossal desk that dominates the center of the space. Lining almost the entirety of the oval-shaped chamber, rows upon rows of tomes, books, scrolls, and journals are stacked high into bookshelves recessed into the stone walls. The space itself is relatively plain, with the bookshelves and the massive desk acting as the centerpiece to this room. Various contraptions of metal and glass that weigh and distribute materials are spread across the room, some pushed just to the edge of the desk, out of the way of the room's occupants. Within the bookshelves, magical devices of all kinds, such as wands, necklaces, and focuses, are suspended by chains or held on pedestals to be given pride of place. This place seems to be a study of sorts, with blueprints and maps pinned to the outside of bookcases and scribbled on with directions and comments. As the figure moves further into the room, washed-out rays of golden sunlight catch upon the object in their grasp. Clutched between two hands is a small box, no visible latch, keyhole, or even a lid and hinge to open it. It is simply a cube, at least until the light begins to pass over it more completely. Contained within the cube appears to be a miniature galaxy in golden hues. Ribbons of deep, rich purple, stardust is splashed across the side, and thousands of brass-coloured stars twinkle from within the surprising depths of this cube. Gazing into it reveals a similarly endless expanse of universe, a small snippet of the sky above. Small shooting stars zip through the cube, dodging an asteroid belt on the edge of a nebula. Each of the fragments within this cube seem to move on their own and drift slightly in the space. The figure carrying the box steps up to the desk, placing the cube down gently on the surface of the table, pockmarked by countless experiments and years of use. Running a hand through their hair that hangs in front of their eyes, they close their eyes and raise their other hand. Performing a complicated series of signs in the air, a constellation of stars forms a web connected by golden threads in front of them. On the desk, the cube splits in the center, jagged pieces that fit together like a puzzle, revealed from where they connect seamlessly. The two sides of the cube unfurl to the side, and a golden pedestal is raised upwards. Above the pedestal, a gem only a little bit bigger than a fist hovers and rotates slowly. The gem itself appears to have the same stars held within its bounds, though the colours appear to be inverted. A rich, deep purple nebula seems to burst across the gem, whilst golden strips of stardust and white twinkling stars drift across its surface. A faint pearlescent shimmer seems to extend outwards from it and reach towards the two figures that stare deeply into it. This is the last one left. We must guard it with whatever we have. It cannot fall into their hands. But our story for the evening begins in a bustling tavern down a narrow hallway and behind several closed doors. A group of ragtag adventurers slumbers away, having exhausted themselves with research and revelations the day before. Sounds of laughter and raucous chatter drift towards them from the main chamber of this tavern, the most esteemed of all taverns in the underground city of Runalorm. The clattering of cutlery across steel and silver plates rings throughout the space, amplified by the multiple levels of this tavern, carved into the stone of the Dawnvale Mountains. The tables are spread throughout the space evenly, never cluttered together, and in pristine shape compared to many of the other taverns visited by these adventurers. As they drift in and out of consciousness to the sounds of the many patrons that inhabit this space, while the rest of you slumber, the named, what would you all like to do?
What time of day is it? Is it like just beginning of morning, or is it still like, are we winding down from the previous day?
I'd say it's morning, so
Morning.
I'd say it'd probably be maybe 8 or 9, depending on when you guys went to sleep the night before.
Okay.
I probably would have just finished this morning bread and then would have headed down for breakfast.
God, that sleep felt like it went for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Ooh.
Damn.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Snores.
Not again.
Kruger will just optimistically bounce down and go to Avalite and join him in some breakfast.
Sure.
Yeah, I probably work up as well. Put it down.
Would you be bouncing down as well?
No, I would just be slowly walking down the stairs. And quietly just seat myself at the table.
You're gonna order some breakfast, or what?
I've just got oats.
I've got like a big meaty sandwich or something like that.
Right.
Not ideal for breakfast food, but being a halfling, I eat a lot.
Yeah, but let's put honey on those oats this morning. It's very exciting.
If you don't eat that, I will.
I'm getting there. Do not rush me. This is very exciting. Honey, I'm used to rations. This is very good.
You want a bite?
I'm alright, thank you. It seems quite heavy for the morning.
Oh my god.
I just keep eating.
These eating habits.
Good morning, Val.
Good morning.
I'm going back to bed. I'm not ready for this.
It's too early for this shit.
Gilbert's got his head on the table.
Did all the reading take that out of you?
Gilbert's asleep. You
Gilbert's
can wake him up.
It was asleep on the table?
No, if you go to wake up Dilbert, June will be like next to Dilbert, hand on Dilbert's head, being like, "Don't touch the baby. It's sleeping."
do you knock me on the head?
I was about to, but then Jim was like, "You're sure?"
Gently push a hand back. Let the child sleep. It's better this
I'm
way.
snoring so loud.
What does your snoring sound like?
Not
Like-
reading.
Kruger, you really want the child to awaken?
Every time you talk, I interrupt you with the snoring.
Yeah, like I'm having to talk in between each. Every sentence really fragmented.
Yeah.
Well, we do have to get in Rivon today,
Mm.
so we do have to wake.
I cast light on the table.
You done the what?
As a cantrip light, I just make the table start glowing.
His eyes are closed.
I just go like, my heart. You.
No.
As you guys are, Dilbert's sleeping on the table. This is arranged like an amphitheater, so there's lots of different rings. You guys will probably be on one of the lower rings. People are definitely looking at you, and then when you cast light on the entire table, you can see some of the tavern keepers are heading towards you, seemingly.
I've snuffed the spell. It's just to wake up. Like,
Sure, so you've only done it like.
yeah, it's a
Okay.
flash.
Okay.
Sure. Sure.
Flashbang.
You can hear some of the other patrons kind of muttering at being disturbed this early in the morning by magic and loud snoring in previously relatively, I'd say, tranquil almost, or like there's still chatter and it's still raucous and it's hard to hear over the amount of people that are in here, seemingly just for a breakfast meal. But it's like a little bit of a hubbub, you know, like it's a very thin kind of hum, and then the snoring is really messing with people's vibes this early in the morning. What would you guys like to do for the day, though?
I think we're going to the Overhang.
Mhm.
That was our plan.
How do we get there again?
The elevators, isn't it?
I just like look and I just point up.
Okay. Do we have to return, like, the ticket?
Yeah,
From-
probably get another
Oh,
one.
yeah, we have to do that as well.
Well,
I don't
we're
want to
heading
get a
over-
fine.
We're heading over to them anyway, so we'll be able to either replenish.
Do we? I mean, we don't. I mean, we don't have some money. Do we need any more like potions or anything like that? I have a couple of healing potions, but that's it. Oh, I guess we got you. We got you.
Hi.
All I can do is be like, get the fuck up.
That's enough.
I did the healing subclass.
This is true.
Holly, having been to this city before, would there be a roll that I could do to see if I know any fare evading tactics?
Sure.
That's actually a reasonable question.
Give me a history check.
Yeah. Oh, it's in that one. Okay, it doesn't matter what my
Damn.
roll is.
Stairs.
Surprisingly enough, a lot of the people in Runalorm don't evade fares because it's relatively cheap, and most of them who live here consistently will actually just pay the fee for a membership. They only pay one fare throughout the year to get full access to wherever they're able to go as citizens, unless they need specific authorization to get there. So, I mean, there might be some people who evade fares, but for the most part, you haven't encountered them.
Yeah.
Do we need rations topped up? Because we might be. Who knows how long we could be in there for? I've only got 4 days worth.
Where are my rations? What is
Could be in equipment.
Yeah.
100-foot
No,
road?
I only go this way, so if it's back
Incense.
like
Diamonds.
because I was on.
I have 1 day.
Because I was on this side. I
Go-
just
go
have
back.
to
I'm just
Yeah,
like,
I
I
That hasn't changed.
We'll just,
I'm gonna
you know,
starve.
getting some rations would be a good call.
Who
I
knows?
have the good berry spell.
Never
The good
mind.
days, right? Does
Yeah.
that make a berry?
It makes berries that are good as for food.
Yeah.
It's not nice
Oh.
food, but it's
But it's food.
like you are sustained.
For an entire
yeah,
day.
yeah, one berry will sustain you for an entire day.
You also get hit point from them
Yes.
if you come back with a
Cool.
certain
Well, I guess that's
how
that's.
many times can you cast that?
It'll be a spell slot for the day, but I can cast it.
Can I say like in character like, oh, if only there was a way to like, I've only got 1 day of rations. Like, if only there was a way to just manifest food and then.
Jim's like, yeah, that'd be crazy.
You can actually learn the spell as well.
Like,
Yeah, you're a druid. You can learn it.
I think I gave it to you.
But yeah,
you can learn it.
1 spell slot, 10 berries, and that's enough for one of us each. And we can
I mean, sustain for the day.
protein pill our way through this.
Done.
Let's go.
Pop.
Huge
You
dubs.
saying my muscles are gonna get even bigger? That's awesome.
No, probably not. Honestly, it'll sustain you. You may you should eat other things.
Okay.
Kruger, I want to impress upon you right now. You should still eat other things.
I mean, I do. I mean, I eat a lot. So are you sure? One. I might need 2. I might need 2 of those pills.
There's enough for that.
Can we go get some sleeping
How long do
pills
they
that look
last?
like the berries? So
What's
can
up?
give
I
them
got
to
2
Kruger.
questions at once.
Can we get sleeping pills that look like the berries?
Maybe.
You can put him to sleep.
Why don't we just put sleeping pills inside the berries?
Let's just hit him.
Or let's not.
Yo, based.
But yeah, do we need the berries now?
No.
Well, who knows how long we could be under, like, in the.
We
They
should,
restore hit points.
can we get some rations though? Because we've only got 1 day and something.
We should get rations anyway, and like the berries could be a last resort.
Wait, can I acquire
I also
rations?
need berries to transmute into good berries.
There you go. Well, we can probably get that at a general
Oh,
store.
so
would
you
need
can't
materials
just
to cast it.
No,
create them out of nothing.
it's a material.
Oh, you
component.
need. Oh, okay, right. I was gonna spell it.
Gotcha.
That would
Yeah.
do.
But yeah.
I think.
I haven't looked into it. Sorry.
Do you need berries for it? I thought you could
Yeah,
just-
it's a material component. Yeah.
Yeah, it's mistletoe, but it's not a price component.
Depends how DMs want to rule it.
Yeah, the way I've seen balanced is literally just to put it so the mistletoe is consumed. but it depends on what kind of playstyle Holly wants. If you don't want to worry too much about rations and stuff like that, it's a great spell.
I think rations are pretty important. I think I just haven't looked into Goodberry specifically as a spell, but give me a moment, everyone.
Yeah.
Moment giving.
Yeah, I think because the image you recommend is mistletoe. The way you counter it is by making mistletoe a consumed component.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to have a cost. It can be part of just buying spell stuff. But you can replace it with your spellcasting focus.
This is
It's
true.
a good idea, yeah. Sprig of mistletoe, I say that.
Is that all you need?
Yeah.
And then you can create infinite food.
Yep.
That's tragic.
You don't even need the sprig of mistletoe. You just need your spellcasting focus.
Oh, well, I got one of those.
It's a first level spell too.
Look, I think for the most part, this does seem a little bit to counteract the entire process of survival. So I will let you do it, but I think in the future I think I might rule in the future that mistletoe will be consumed. Maybe not for every single time you cast it, but for maybe every 5, because there are 8 in the party. So I think if you're casting it, is it a cantrip?
First level
It's first level spell, okay.
Yeah.
I think, that might be my ruling in the future.
Sure. Mine doesn't say anything about mistletoe.
That's because you, I think, have a spellcasting focus as well, so that's why I wouldn't...
No, mine actually says it requires 10 berries. Oh, no, that's what it gives me.
Oh,
Never
yes.
mind.
Yes.
I'm reading the wrong part.
I like the idea that you need berries to turn into berries.
Yeah.
Though. Technically, watermelons are berries.
It's one watermelon.
Good
Stay here for
watermelon.
the whole day. What, really?
That'll be enough for Google.
So, I'll say, June, you do already have a sprig of mistletoe.
Thank you.
Actually, I'll say you have 2,
Cool.
because who knows how long you're gone for, but yeah, it produces 10 berries, so in the future, it will consume it when you cast it.
We've had a long rest, right?
You have had a long rest,
Yeah, I
yes,
want to make
that's
sure
correct.
before I just get rid of my spells.
Yes, you have had a long rest. Okay, so you guys are heading to the Overhang, but you're first going past...
Maybe just a general store just to stock up on
Sure.
rations just in case, God forbid, the source of the good berries is no longer.
Sure, okay.
Jim dies, so we don't
Yeah.
Me when the source of the good berries.
Is no longer.
Sure. So I'll say, for the sake of time, you guys go to a general store. If you're looking for rations in particular, relatively easy to get them. Let me just find the cost for you. Is there anything else that anybody wants to pick up with them?
So how much rations are we buying?
I don't have any, so I'll be buying a little bit.
Maybe buy like anywhere between 5 to 10. I don't think we'll be down in
Sure, it's 5 silver pieces per ration for a day.
per ration. So a gold for 2 rations.
Oh wow, I have like no gold.
No, I've got. Oh, that's enough. You can get on 10 days worth of rations with that, or 2 days worth of rations with that.
Wait, with the gold?
Yeah, 1 gold's 2 rations because there's 5 silver per ration.
Oh, I get like 6.
3 gold for 6 rations.
Daddy, can I have some money?
How many rations?
I will get 10 days worth of rations.
Sure.
So that's 5 gold.
Yes, that's great.
I will do the same.
Oh, you got.
I will follow suit as well.
Cool.
Who needs rations and doesn't have money for it?
Me.
I got.
I'll get
I have no money.
them as well.
Sure.
I have
So
not
that'll
been trusted
be
with any of the gold.
5 gold.
Yeah.
And you have 10 rations added to your inventory.
Anyway, so how many people? So,
who's
that's
rations to
10
10 days?
it's 5 gold
Yeah.
for 10 days.
And then just
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just
one.
I have nothing.
So that's 5,
keep going all the way to
10,
20.
15. Anyone else
So you
am I
have 10
buying
days
rations for?
already. No, you have 20. So you're stocked.
Xander, am I getting June rations? Or
No, no, I'm all good.
Adding 10.
And A9's getting rations or not?
I don't think I need
Actually,
to
you don't need them. Never mind.
Oh, you like
Okay,
Arcanines.
so
Sure,
that,
yeah.
and
Cool.
click on the gold symbol,
I got it.
then click
As
on
in,
So
then
just
right
add
there,
it. So
gold,
you'll have
click
10 days
5,
worth.
and then remove.
wait, no, 11. Because I got 1 already.
Right corner.
I need
Where's the button to add to negative?
You go manage items.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I will say while you guys are sorting out your rations, you're also heading to see if you can replenish your fare for the carriages. That's great.
Yeah.
You're specifically saying that you're going to the Overhang, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
I think that's
Sure.
that's the plan. Yeah.
As you head up to the same kind of docking station that you guys had been to get onto the inner works, to see if you can ride one of the cable cars up to one of the upper levels, and replenish your fare while you're at it. The attendant there is a middle-aged dwarven woman. She politely tells you that, look, unfortunately, the overhang is restricted, so, I mean, unless you can prove as to why you need to go up there, I'm afraid I won't be able to sell you a fare for it unless you've been previously approved.
Any like signet or symbol?
Why are we going up there? Oh, for the chain, right? Cool. Probably not a good
Gonna
reason.
break some chains. Yeah, we can't really say we're gonna free one of the unnamed. Who's got? No, that's a bit metagamey.
Can I respond? How does one prove a divine mission?
Well, usually, in order to get access to the overhang, you have to go through the feather cage, and then the feather cage will tell me and my kind that you're allowed to go up there because, you know, it's kind of a restricted section of the city. So, who have you been speaking to about your divine mission?
What if a god had told us to do it? Does a god not overrule the fairy cage member?
Roll a deception check.
Is it a deception check or is it a persuasion
Can
check?
I
This one's a deception check because nobody ever told you specifically to go to that temple.
Yes, but
Based.
bear with me. If this fails,
The quantities of it.
did you say deception?
Yeah.
Never mind. Don't even worry about it. Draconic presence is intimidation and persuasion. So
We have to add the money back.
Yeah.
No, I had
6.
11 before.
wait, deception. I don't think I have anything.
I mean, wouldn't be the first time that someone's told me that they're on a divine mission to go up and fuck around with artillery ships, is it? So,
So close to holding up the claws.
Can
but
I
don't.
respond with, can we not go to the artillery ships and just go to the top of the mountain? We just want to go to the snow bit and not the artillery ship bit.
well, I mean, the overhang is kind of where the artillery ships are, so, I mean...
Is there a way out of the mountain that isn't the overhang that we can use to get to the top?
You're hoping to go out to the top of the mountain. You're crazy. But if you can get approval to do it, then I can let you through.
Who should we speak to?
Any of the Feather Cage members, any of the Cauldron Keepers, they might be able to help you. Really any sort of authority. The brand, if you can get them on your side, of course.
Do you know any of the more favorable kind?
Are you asking me if I know someone that you can bribe to...
No, not bribe. Just, nice. A nice person.
Like, we want to get through someone who's more likely to let us through.
Or to listen in general.
It depends on what avenue you'd like to go down.
Out of all of your Feather Cage members, which one is your favorite?
Not gonna be so tricked easily like that.
There's a
I
camera
appreciate I appreciate all of the Feather Cage members.
Very good answer. Now,
Are you nervous about answering?
No, I'm just nervous about losing my job, given that they would probably be able to tell that I sold you a fare to get up there without approval, so...
I whisper a little bit too loudly. Did you make a blood pact? Do they know where you are at all times?
What?
No, this is I work for the Feather Cage, so they know
Oh, okay.
what my shift is.
I kind of go like.
This is a regular pack still, but
Look, if you've got a name for me for one of the Feather Cage members that you've spoken to, or someone that might be able to grant you approval to get up there, I can let you go. But it's not strictly a fair buying, you know. You kind of need a symbol or an approval, your name to be on a list, something like that.
Imagine Wolfric doesn't count as an approved figure.
The runner kills or the iron lines.
I'm pretty sure. Doesn't Wolfric hate the Feather Cage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wolfric does.
They don't hate him though.
I'm pretty sure they probably do hate Wolfric.
It's a who knows? Who
He's
knows?
an explosives master.
You can try it.
no.
What? But what if they
He's
know?
an active terrorist.
But what if
He is
this person knows Wolfric?
Hey, we know
What if
the
they-
And
domestic
he's more
terrorist
scared of
that says we can
Wolfric
do
Wait,
it.
than
wait.
he is of the Feather Cage.
June grabs Abelard's sleeve and yanks it a little bit. Can you get your guy to tell him?
Your guy.
You want me to pray to a god and get the god to say, please let them through?
Yes.
He's the one who wants us to go on, right?
Literally exactly what I was saying.
Like, I mean,
You've got 11 minutes. I have something that is an omen from a god I can do.
would you like to talk to God?
I can give you.
I regularly pray to my so I'm okay. I've already completed my prayer
What?
for the day.
What if Mayar talked to you?
I think Mayar speaks to me in a lot of ways.
One of them was taking you through this little lizard.
Are you telling me that you were sent by Mayar to go topside
I
and
was
at the
sent
top
by-
of the mountain?
I was sent by Mayar to do something. Don't know what it is, but it might involve that. I can ask.
Roll persuasion with disadvantage.
Wait, was it deception?
Disadvantage.
Persuasion.
No.
Which I can use Draconic Presence on if I fail.
Yeah, this is with disadvantage,
Ah,
though,
yeah,
so
I
we'll
know.
see how it goes.
Wait.
This lizard just screams in the middle of it.
Oh, it's so almost. It's even with disadvantage, it's an 11.
Look, I
Does
appreciate
that fail?
You don't know.
Is that a quote unquote fail? 'Cause
That's
if it is-
that's really meta.
Yeah, no, but I can't use Draconic Presence unless it's a fail.
I think it's like gamer intuition.
If you think you've failed, then you're more than welcome to unleash your scream here, if you'd like to.
Think about it.
No, I
Screaming.
won't.
You'll roll
I
lower.
won't. Yeah, I will. It's disadvantage. I won't waste on a disadvantage roll. I'll stick with the 11.
Sure. Look, I can't say that I've ever had Mayar speak to me to tell me to go anywhere specifically. I guess if you've got proof that God's speaking to you, then by all means, prove it to me and I can give you an approval. Or
should have taken
seriously, if you've got a name or anything.
It's
Mayar's a name.
Clementine said that she could get us.
A meeting, but we would have to do a favor for them and it was approved. And it seems like
Do you
a
think
kerfuffle.
trying
And
to?
then I look at her and I go right back and I put 100 foot of rope. And I'm just like, I mean, we could just climb.
I think if we get no, if we do that no.
We would probably die, and I also think that it is a waste of trying to
Go.
tell you that we speak to gods.
You've told me that several times.
Exactly, and I don't think it's working.
What
so-
If we
We're
all
all
try
dead,
at the same time, one of us will get
I'm
there.
really sorry.
No.
That's fine.
Thank you very much for your time. I think we'll be on our
Did
way.
we replenish our
Your rations, yeah.
the
Your fare, yes.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
How much is replenishing the fare cost?
2 gold or something?
I think it was 2 gold for how many days? 2 days, wasn't it? Yeah, so
Ah.
a gold a day, depending on how much you want.
Should we do 2 days again?
2 days.
Okay, yeah. Awesome. I will do that.
Cool.
All done.
I'll pull the group back. Like, okay, I think we're gonna have to claim the Clementine favor, I guess, now.
I like looking at the rope, and I'm just like, I don't trust these people. I trust my own hands more than I trust them.
Yeah,
I am not a strong person.
Look, I don't trust that, because that seems just like one hop, skip, and a fall to your death. And I think the only way we're gonna do it is one of the authority figures around here.
You've heard them describe the authority figures here.
We don't
as
have
far
to go,
as I'm aware, we're safe
we don't
in trusting
have to,
ourselves.
We don't have to
trusting
go
them.
through the Pharaoh cage. Like they said, we could go to the brand.
Or the cauldron keepers?
Any of
Have
them
we
trustworthy?
Have we had any interaction with them? We haven't had any action with the
We have.
Cauldron Keepers, have we?
Roll a history check.
Do they have something to do with my arm?
Kind of.
15.
With a 15, you actually have had an interaction with a Cauldron Keeper. The individual that you guys bumped into last time with the white cloak, who kind of settled everything down. With a 15, Cauldron Keepers are historically, Runalorm was thought to be the cauldron of Maya. So a lot of forging happened here, still does, but it was less a city and more like a hotspot for followers of Maya to come and to create here. They eventually settled over time, but the Cauldron Keepers were the initial authority that is thought to be chosen by Maya specifically to defend and protect the cauldron of Maya.
That sounds a lot more forgiving than the Pharaoh cage.
I was
They
gonna say,
typically go on scouting missions to make sure that the top side isn't going to have any sort of issues there. So usually the Cauldron Keepers don't have much to do with the citizens of Runalorm. They're thought to be a step above the brand.
Cool.
In terms of if Runalorm were to specifically fight a war, they would be your kind of special class of soldier.
cool.
Or guard. So they don't typically deal too much with citizens. They're more designated to threats around Runalorm than within.
I like
That's
those guys.
divine
I like the sound of those
mission,
guys
isn't
way
it?
more.
I'm like, and I'll go back to that person who just was. Excuse me, do you know where the headquarters of the Cauldron Keepers are exactly?
I do. It's the Overhang. So
Wait, so we can't get. So if we want permission from the Cauldron Keepers to go to the Overhang, we need to go to the Overhang, but we can't go to the Overhang without permission.
do you have a note or a name or something from a specific Cauldron Keeper or
What was that?
somebody affiliated with them?
What was that dude's name? That calmed everything down? He didn't give us his name. I tried to get his name and he just gave a hoot.
Because I didn't write it down.
No, he didn't have a name. He didn't have a. Oh, he has a name, but like I didn't get it.
Do you have business with the Cauldron Keepers?
His name was Steve.
That's not true.
That's what we called him.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was just Dubba being Dubba, not anything.
Which Steve? There's a few.
What?
can't.
The cool one.
Which Steve do you think?
Which
I mean-
do you think would have dealings with us?
Look, I'm really getting the sense that you've got no idea who you're talking about.
Look,
So
I know it's been thrown around a lot, but
We talk to gods.
not that we talk to gods. We believe. We're the name, by the way. New adventuring party. You'll hear about us sooner or later.
Why are you like this?
What does everyone feel about me lighting my hand on fire and being like, I have the flame of my arm in my
No.
hand?
I'm gonna, you know what? Hang on. This is gonna be a good one too. My friend over here had a literal divine calling from Maiar, and they are looking to do more knowledge and research and understanding in their newfound god. And what better way than to actually get information and queries than from the Cauldron Keepers themselves, the original, authority figure and the all-knowers of Maiar, as, run along is the Cauldron of Maiar.
As Kurugar says that, I'd kind of go
Can I tell the message career? I'm like, now, I get what we're trying to do here and link a little bit to Maiar and all that, but do we actually want a priest of Maiar coming down here when Maiar also threw one of the members of our party off the top of a temple?
Look.
In top of it, and I'm just being like, look, if Maiar is anything like Laurent, probably speaks to his followers a little bit.
Look, hopefully he hasn't put out a hit list on June like the rest of in telepathically, like the rest of this, yeah. Hopefully that the god, like the fire and fury god, has not put out a hit list on June like apparently the city has. So let's hope that the connection is slow for them.
Indeed.
I break the connection. I was like, okay.
That's all. I say that.
How does he react to the fire hand?
She is disturbed by this entire conversation. She goes, okay, look, I'm not equipped to be sending messages to Cauldron Keepers members. I'm just the person who hits a couple of levers, a couple of buttons.
To speak to your manager.
So I'm gonna go and get someone who speaks a lot to Federal Cage members and liaises a little bit. If you want to come back in about 5 minutes, or you can wait here while I go.
Perfect. That would be great.
Don't touch anything.
No, we won't. Promise. We just want to.
She steps around the window, kind of closes the little bit of a shutter, and steps around to very pointedly lock it. Seriously, don't go in there.
I promise.
Is there like a seat nearby?
Yeah, there's a couple of benches
I'll just
nearby.
sit down.
There's one across the way that kind of looks down. It's more of like a sightseeing spot down into the rest of Runalong. But she kind of giving you guys strange looks over the corner.
I'm not gonna
makes
lie.
a path that seems to go past the medial coinery and further into the inner works.
I'm gonna sit down and just light incense.
I must calm myself.
I'm kind of looking up into the sky, like asking for approval from my just being like, yeah.
Roll a religion check. You guys, looking up, you can see that the overhang is a hive of activity.
16.
It's not too much higher. Okay, you feel a little bit warmer. A little bit warmer. You don't know if Maya's going to speak to you or to the...
I'm just like a parent showing a child showing their parent like,
look at what I made. Yeah.
Look what I made.
Look what I made a problem.
The overhang actually isn't too much higher. It's in between the inner works and the ferro cage, so it's kind of a staggered. The cable car that goes to it is much shorter than the one that was brought you up to this level.
That makes sense.
And it seems to not be in operation at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody's in it. It's not going up and down really.
How difficult would it be to crawl across the cable?
I'm looking at it again, and then I look at Renandra, and I shake the rope a bit, and I just look back up again.
You're gonna.
No, I'm not actually going to.
It's actually pretty sturdy. It's a cable, so it's not rope or anything.
How long?
Maybe about
Long.
100. No, actually, it'd probably be closer to 200 feet.
So I could get across that if I got maybe 5 good acrobatics rolls.
No,
find
you,
it
no,
gross.
you will get in so much trouble.
How heavy
You
are
also
you?
have to make sure
Very,
nobody
very
else
not heavy.
sees you doing this.
I'm like looking at the rope. I'm
No,
looking
no
at the rope,
sane
and I'm
person
like-
is gonna stop a feral dragon from crawling across
But
the
they're
table.
gonna call people who can.
I'm gonna be like, hey, there's a lizard that's
To
climbing.
this point, there are a lot of guards
Oh,
that
okay,
are
okay.
just
That's
patrolling around.
Brilliant.
I could
Like,
put an owl on your back. To
you
like
guys-
try and-
Go right.
You guys have encountered a lot of guards before on this level
This-
specifically.
yeah.
so-
Yeah,
The higher we go, the more
Fine.
police.
I just kind of
Um,
look at it then and go like,
You can see that there are some figures that are going to a different dock. So this one is specifically one that heads up to the overhang. There's a dock kind of on the other side that goes up to the ferro cage. And there are people that are going up to the ferro cage pretty regularly. A lot of them seem to be arcane practitioners of sorts, and they seem to be relatively well dressed, but you do see 1 or 2 that appear to be soldiers or appear to just be people with grievances that are going up to speak to the ferro cage. But that seems to be much more frequent a travel journey for people than to the overhang, interestingly enough. But you can see the light that kind of is blasting down. It looks like sunlight or daylight from the overhang, whereas the rest of it is relatively... It's mostly lit by torches and lamps, and the faint red glow that you can see kind of stretching up the side from both the vats and from the courtier. She eventually comes back, and you can see behind her the shape of Clementine, who seems... She at first seems really confused, and she's like got a tome in her hand. There's kind of different pieces of parchment that are sticking out of pages, and she's hurriedly kind of flicking through, and she looks up, and you just see the... You can see them have a short conversation, and it seems like the attendant for the overhang is...
all we had to do was mention
yeah, yeah. Or you could have mentioned the name of... It's too late now.
Well, we don't know that she's
Of
a
what?
part
You
of the
don't know.
organization.
Well, you could have tried it, or you could have mentioned the name and just like lied your way out of it and be like, oh yeah, the runner kilns told us to go up. There's a lot of different options.
Yeah, could have lied, but I feel like lying would have
This was
got us in
a-
we
trouble.
tried deception and it didn't work. So
Yeah, there's a lot of different options for what you could have
You're
done.
like the Western- God told us to.
My God told me I need to go in that big scary cave.
I thought the fire hand was gonna work, but
Yeah, well, she went off to get Clementine,
Yeah.
and she's bringing her around. You can hear the tail end of the conversation. So you know these people, I'm assuming, and you can just faintly hear, like, Clementine's volume is much lower. She's almost like, not whispering, but she's kind of like it's not as put out there into the world as this kind of boisterous attendant. But she seems to say, well, I've met them once or twice. They're relatively good. She kind of looks at you all.
I give her a wave, like,
Friends, I guess they're doing a couple of jobs for me that require them to go out into the overhang. So I'm happy to pay for their fare or to give them approval. It is in the end for the runner kilns anyway, so and the attendant kind of...
wait, you can do that?
You're asking Clementine?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, we were gonna like do a whole thing. I just wanted to. Oh.
I was going to go to deep in prayer and try to get the run to rats.
No, I was gonna just like ask if there was like
well,
a
that
cauldron.
would've-
I was gonna ask if there was a cauldron keeper around, and then there weren't. Then we would have gone to someone else who could help. I didn't know.
Oh, well, if you want to talk to the cauldron, I assumed you were going out to
We
you know,
are.
Well, yeah,
complete
we
that
wanted to.
job that I...
Yeah. But I didn't. Huh?
we didn't
Well-
know you had clearance that high.
Yeah.
She frowns. Well, I did tell you that I'm on good terms with the Ferrocage. I run business for them
Good
all the
terms and high
time.
clearance are like
Very good.
Could be mutually exclusive.
Well, suppose so.
Well, now we know.
I'd like to think I'm on good terms with a lot of people.
I mean, it won't work for everything, but you
No.
are doing a job for me, of course, and, well, I have friends in higher places, so...
Well, we don't want to take advantage of your privilege, of like your station or your...
Oh, no, that's, I'm happy to help. Did you light yourself on fire?
Yeah, I'll do it again. Look.
It's a thing he can do.
I don't know why he does
Cool.
that.
Mayar's blessing.
Right.
Magic.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe try not to do it in an enclosed space.
I'm not gonna hurt anyone.
Right. Well,
I like touch myself with my own fire.
you can see her hand twitch slightly, as if she's going to cast something and then doesn't. You can roll an insight check if you'd like to see.
I would love to.
Spells magic.
Like a 10.
A 10. You're not too sure what she was gonna do, but she didn't seem nervous at being an arcane practitioner herself. You assume she might have just been trying to cast something.
To protect me or the
Perhaps.
people. Okay.
You're not sure. She might have even been trying to cast something herself.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, she snaps the tome shut, heads over to the attendant who's kind of waiting inside the box again, who's checking everything to make sure you hadn't touched anything.
I'm so
They
glad
have
I
a
didn't break
hushed
it.
conversation. They have a hushed conversation, but you can see that Clementine signs something on a piece of parchment. And they appear to actually be on good terms themselves. Seems like you've made friends with somebody who is relatively well liked. And then she eventually comes back over to you and passes you, Abelard, a symbol. This will just, when you get up to the overhang, this will prove that the lot of you are, well, I guess, proved to be up there, so,
Thank you. And I'll put it on my pouch on my belt.
Well, best of luck. I'll be going back to my shop now. I probably should have guessed that it would have been you who are maybe causing trouble.
We have a knack for these things. We don't plan on it.
Well, it certainly keeps things exciting. So.
Next time I should approach these problems in my priestly robes.
Glad we could help with the entertainment.
When he says priestly robes, he does mean nude.
No, I mean, I go in my bag and I pull out a set of vestments. I'm like, no, I mean literal priest robes.
They're not real.
I don't know if I can condone streaking.
That's what I keep
Yeah,
saying.
Abelard.
I look at my priest robe and I look back.
I look down at myself and I'm like half naked.
I look back at everyone. I'm just like,
Right. Well, enjoy the overhang. Don't get yourselves killed.
Try not to.
that's the plan.
Good luck. If you need anything, you know where I am. My influence only really extends to getting you a meeting with the Pharaoh Cage and helping you to get up there. I frequently have to make trips up there myself, but obviously I can't, so thank you for doing it for me, I suppose.
Happy to help.
Oh, good.
Right, well,
Question out of character.
yeah.
Who was Clementine again?
Clementine is the owner of the Cat's Corner, the
Cat's
magical
Corner,
item
that's
shop
right.
that you guys
I was
do.
gonna notice
What
she
are
was
we
a star-
doing up there again?
We have to get the Remerez fang for
Oh
it.
fuck, we agreed to that.
Yes, we agreed to that.
Yeah,
and
I
now,
can't believe we should do that.
this has only solidified that, oh yeah, they're doing a job for me, so now we actually have to get it.
I'm pissed.
Because before I was like, oh yeah.
You might not, I mean, you
Well,
might not have.
I not like, we
It's-
should.
We could
We
attempt
should.
to. What if we just scratch ourselves up a bit and be like, we did find the Reverend, it was crazy, but we didn't actually get anything.
We should at least attempt to
Sure.
at least try. Actually.
You can go attempt it if you want.
It was crazy that we're here.
Dude, it was massive. We almost died. Meanwhile, it's just Kruger that's fucked up, and the rest of us are
A
fine.
Remoretti does not count as a humanoid. I
No.
cannot cast hold person on it.
No, it's a monstrosity.
How do I? Is there a hold monster spell?
Yes, that's like 7th level.
Oh fuck! Why is it so high up?
Dominate beast.
That wouldn't work. I don't think that would work either. It only works on beasts.
You have to be dominate monster.
Yeah, dominate monster.
Suggested.
I vote Krugar goes in as a decoy.
Maybe it is dominate monster. I thought it was dominate beast. I could be wrong.
There is a dominate beast. That's like a
Is there?
3rd level spell. Dominate monster's 5th level.
Here we go. It was in there somewhere.
It's in this somewhere.
Um,
Or Nadria, but I
What?
feel like Nadria would vote for Krugar anyway. Or me.
what are we voting for?
Wait, to be the decoy? Why am I the decoy?
Why am
Because
I?
you want to fight the Remoraid.
Why would I be the decoy?
Because you're mean.
Hey, Nadria, no, you and me, we got this.
High five. Let's kill ourselves.
Let's die.
I will die if
No, you
I
won't.
put myself in front of that thing.
No, you stay in the back line and I'll be up front.
Okay.
Technically, I'm already half dead, so like,
Are you saying this in character?
yeah.
What?
What?
Didn't you rest like everyone else?
I'm just tired.
Can I inside
Yeah,
check?
can I insert you?
Yeah, sure.
But aren't you like related to this guy?
Oh, well.
Dirty 20.
No, it's rude.
Are they hard?
I don't know.
I
I
don't
would
know,
have
like,
to fight one.
neither of them were true.
I mean, you are lying. You're not half dead, but
Yeah.
you are attached to an undead entity. So, June's not necessarily
Is that it comes
telling the truth, but they're not. I mean, it's not a total lie. There is definitely something there, but specifically what was said by June was not.
None of it
Was was a lie.
Is that some kind of... is that meant to be a joke?
No, it's just magic things.
Just magic things.
Like your owls?
It's a bit of a philosophical question, but unimportant to this current time.
Are you okay, bud?
You literally grow like 3 sizes whenever you fight. Surely we're past the point of...
But, you know what?
I
Yeah.
lit myself on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dylan
you
just
know-
lit themselves on fire.
Look, the only magic I'm sort of used to is the wizardy kind, so everything else is just wild to me, so
That
that's
is
fair.
not the wizardy kind of magic. They do everything.
Nah, but my sister just reads books and then she casts spells.
Oh, that's the wizardy
Yeah,
kind
the
of
wizardy
magic.
kind.
So
Reading
they're a
books.
nerd.
She is a nerd. Don't let her catch you saying that. She'll light a fire on your ass.
I'd light a fire on my ass.
No, but the kind that would hurt you.
In any case, but the Remoraid is a secondary problem, right?
The what?
Remoraz?
Riz?
Oh,
Riz?
Oh yeah. The
Razzmatazz?
The Remoraid, bro.
Rizzle dizzle.
No, I think we should.
The Risley Beast. The Risley
No.
Grizzly
Yeah, no. We
bear.
have. Okay, I think primary goal is the primary goal.
We're just getting on an elevator right now, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming we're on the elevator and we're talking about.
Sure, if I
Yeah.
guess.
Like when you're talking about the Remoraz, we're just like, what the fuck
Yeah.
are we doing?
I'm assuming you weren't saying we could
Don't-
just
don't
lie
start
in
this
front of
mission,
Clementine, so she's gone off.
No.
guys-
I assumed that this was all happening while we were on the cable car.
Sure, it's a relatively short ride up, but as you guys approach the overhang, you see what actually appears to be almost like a military encampment. There are several different tents and things that are set up, like lean-tos against the wall. There are different carved homes and abodes as well. Perhaps they're barracks. It's a bit hard to see, but they very much mimic the...
Thank you. Do I look pretty? Do I look adorable?
Yeah, you look great. You can very much see that it mimics what was actually carved underneath the stairs when you guys were descending down into the court here. So it's kind of got a curved shape to it. But the thing that really catches your attention is that there are several wooden docks that are kind of positioned. It's a colossal space, but they're almost positioned to the edge. And you can see what appear to be ships. Galleons, man-of-war type ships, people that are kind of attending them, that are throwing cargo over the side, to people waiting below who kind of hit like the heavier ones and kind of push them to the side. Different barrels, crates.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
not over this.
That's been a lot.
Yeah, that took me a minute.
That's a callback.
That is a callback.
At the
Are
beginning
these
of the
Coldry
episode-
Keepers?
What?
Some of them look to be. You can see similar kind of white fur cloaks that are pulled over and attached to the top. Most of these actually seem to just be deckhands or attendants for these ships. The thing that really strikes you as strange about these ships is that there appears to be some kind of enchantment on the sails, and where the hull of the ship would previously just be wood, it appears that there are little fins that have like mechanical attachments to the side that kind of stretch out from the edge, and some that kind of appear to beat gently as they're kind of being fixed by different attendants who are stretching them taut. There is a kind of an oval-shaped sail on one of them that appears to be attached to the top of this large pit, almost like a metal cage around it. And you can see there's a fire that's kind of faintly burning there, but the oval-shaped balloon almost seems to just kind of sink slightly and is being depressed of air as it falls down to the deck of the ship.
So I'm just trying to get my bearings. So Runalon is underground, right?
It is, yeah.
Is the overhang above ground, or are we still underground?
You guys, technically, from where you're standing, are underground as much as you are actually being carved into this mountain. So you might be above the ground level, but you're still technically underground, given that the city is carved into a mountain.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
like we're like towards the top now
Yeah.
of the city, and so
Yep.
it's okay. Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah, so you're not quite at the peak of the mountain.
Yeah.
But it's peeking
but-
outside of the mountain.
Yeah, so you can
Okay.
see as you look down, almost like a corridor. This place is massive. It's almost as big as the elliptical landing that you guys had first seen run along through. But this wide corridor, you can see just this blast of light that kind of comes through. It's incredibly bright, almost sterile at first, but as your eyes adjust, you can see faint glimpse of a blue sky. There appears to be snowfall that's kind of making its way into the opening of this overhang.
Makes sense.
And people are in white fur cloaks kind of brushing it away, shoveling past as people are kind of taking horses out. You can see that there are some elk as well that are being taken up the side of a mountain out of sight from you guys. This definitely seems to be where a lot of expeditions and things are happening. There's a mass of people here. There's probably about 300 that you can see just from where you are. Different people that are attending ships, people that are kind of set to the side near cargo, taking a break, passing a bottle in between them, people that are obviously shoveling snow, getting it out of the way, or tending fires to keep it warm, because it is pretty drafty up here, being so high up on a mountainside. But for the most part, the actual floor itself appears to be relatively warm. Like, you don't feel the cold seeping through your boots. It seems not hot, as in burning, but it seems heated. Some of the underside of these docks as well appears to have like a mismatch of iron and steel lattice, almost like a mesh that's kind of holding the ships in place, which appear to kind of hover slightly above the ground.
I think crew guys are just staring at the airships.
Yeah.
They're
very, for anybody who didn't quite get it from the description, they're very treasure planet.
Yeah. Oh, I'm seeing that. All right, don't worry about that. That makes me very happy.
How about starting a military camp and just being like,
Yeah.
what stays there?
I've never seen one up close like that before.
Anyway, which way are we going?
No idea.
Hang on. Don't rush this. This is awesome.
Don't we have to go fight like a death lizard or something?
Yeah.
You can see that there are squads of cauldron keepers. There's probably about 10 to 12 of them in a group that are conditioning their gear. So they're taking each bit apart, they're sharpening metal. There appears to be a couple of anvils set up in the corner as well that people are kind of ting, ting. No, nothing ever stops in this forge. Like, every single layer, every tier is, people are working on different sort of metallic parts, they're working on weapons, that sort of stuff. Squads of cauldron keepers are actually heading outside as well for training. You can see that they have like wooden swords. This appears to be the next generation, so to speak, or the trainees for the cauldron keepers.
Okay.
Just one last question, just to get the picture right in my head. The tunnel that goes out to the open world, is it like level or is it angled? Like, does it angle up? If that makes sense.
From where you're standing, it appears to just go straight out that
Just
way,
straight,
but
okay.
you can see that people are curling around to the side behind, or going up different sides of this overhang.
Oh, okay.
That's all we need. Yeah, that's what I was going to
Yeah.
ask. Yeah, we need to...
So there are exits from here. Most of them appear to be to the side. It doesn't just go straight out.
Yep.
But you can see some that appear to kind of drop gradually down.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to figure out if this temple is still underground or if it's more outside the mountain itself. Because I feel like the actual Remoraz will probably be outside. But that's just me thinking. So we need to figure out where the temple is. Temple first, because we could just say that there may be a Remoraz at the temple, and if there's not one there, then we'll go outside and maybe try to find one.
Remoraz at the temple?
Yeah,
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just
We've
Got a
to
hot tip.
go venturing into the wilderness.
It's so we can like go
My
do
specialty.
the chain without it looking sus.
Oh, true.
Yeah, we can't really be like, yo,
We wanna
that
go-
one guy from the Nameless view.
Yeah, we want to go
Pretty
check
cool.
out this ancient temple, yo.
We want to free your god.
we want to free your god.
He's just a guy.
We want to
He's
free
just
a stinky little crocodile man.
Wait, he plays the saxophone though, right?
Yeah.
That's gotta be worth something.
And
He plays
slightly
other
less
instruments.
stinky
Does he play the bass?
little man.
Would she both play bass?
Probably, yeah.
Does that make him based?
Does
Chivoth
Does
is canonically
Chivoth
based.
have the riz?
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
Chivoth.
Actually,
You've seen
I
that
feel like
sure.
every single NPC has the riz because Holly.
Real.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Give us a
you.
dab.
They call me the Wizard of Oz.
Oh!
I just lost Riz points.
Riz points.
Yeah.
Roll a
Riz
d20.
rice.
How many Riz points do you lose?
Only one.
No, there you go.
Fuck,
Even that one.
Even that had Riz.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
that had Riz.
that's true.
There we
Anyway.
go.
Okay.
You rizzed the dice up so hard that it was a one.
You're a wizard, Holly.
I'm a Wizard of Oz, yes.
You're a wizard, Holly. I'm a what?
I'm a what?
Coded in the risen. Risen?
Okay.
Anyway, yes.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
God is
Okay.
risen.
I Riz aside.
Yes, Riz aside. Okay. Do we actually know?
No, I couldn't find anything in the books.
So we don't know actually where to start looking. We just know it's here. That's very helpful.
No worries.
What will you do? You like read that? You read books. We all read books for hours.
Did you find out anything?
I didn't look up your stuff. Look up my shit.
I didn't look at your stuff.
I learned a bit. Not about your stuff either.
That's awesome. I'm so proud. You read?
Could we
I did.
go to
That's
this
actually
temple
great.
that
Well-
might have
Yeah.
Regoraz,
see,
and then
that's-
Ah.
if there is one, yay. If not, we ask.
No, Val, that's a great idea. We need to find someone who looks authoritative.
Wait.
That fella, there's just
The,
some like.
no,
no.
what?
Is that
No.
Is that what you're
You point to
No.
a really old, frail guy.
It's
He's
written.
just kind
you
of got a
cannot
cane
undo it.
next to him. He's wizened. His skin appears almost leathered by the amount of like
Leathered.
by
Old
the
leathery
amount of
skin.
sun that he's seen. There's a couple of liver spots towards his head that like the hairline's receding, and he's kind of just making his way down.
I was
Town.
devour him. It's like, if there's anyone that knows the temple is, to be fair, he's probably as old as the temple.
Wasn't
Genuinely not a bad choice.
the Cauldron Keepers on the...
Do we want to ask the religious police how they feel about Nameless Fuel Temple?
Yeah, well, we
Just
don't
ask the
tell
dude
them it's
before he
about a
leaves.
nameless few temple, do we?
He's moving real slow.
Why don't you just ask Chivon? I don't understand.
I have!
Can I...
You can
weird
try again.
question. Can I, like, try feel the theocratic energy?
You want to do a vibe check?
Can I do a check?
Did you really just ask, can I roll a vibe check to the DM?
No, I asked if I could
I-
feel religious energy. I feel like religious...
Theocratic energy.
Yeah.
Theocratic energy.
I want to see the religious vibes. Sure. Roll an insight check.
Roll a nat 20.
I mean, arguably better than my religion stats.
Oh no.
Well, it is a wisdom.
Not
Yeah.
a man of God.
Come on, nat 20, please.
Oh,
Do it.
Nat 20.
Pressure.
Get
Now's
the
the
good
time.
vibes. Put
Now's
the
Can I
good
give
vibes.
myself the good vibes?
Have the good
You're
vibes.
gonna inspire your roll?
Guidance, man.
Yeah, I'll do that as well, actually.
You want to inspire your roll?
I'll inspire my role. I'll give
Oh.
myself guidance.
Can I
This
give
is
you,
what we're
can I
wasting
give you
on.
bardic inspiration as well?
What's that extra dice? What dice is that?
That's an extra d6.
Just
Oh
so
my
I know, what specifically, like,
Just
theocratic vibes, like, are you...
What kind of am I feeling a particular energy coming from a certain part? Like a kind of chaotic, T-bot like
Sure.
energy.
Sure.
Yeah. Are you
Or,
inspiration?
maybe we could
Abidance,
perception.
guidance.
No.
Or we could just perception check on tunnels and see if there's any weird iconography, but I like this.
I'm feeling this energy. I have so many dice in my hand right now.
Go. Big rolls.
Oh my god!
What did you roll?
I rolled a 3.
Nice.
6, 8.
I mean,
Is that a 9 or a 6?
So 9,
14. Oh, no,
12.
Oh, that's a 6, isn't
Yeah, so 9, 12.
it? Oh, yeah, sorry.
14. Plus my insight, 18.
More than.
I mean-
Weirdly good, yeah.
Yeah, but like, think if you had rolled high on the
Yeah,
d20, you
if
probably
there
would
was
have
somewhere I
got
could
like 40
reroll my
something.
d20 or something.
Sure, okay. I...
Bruh.
Fucking 3.
Okay. With an 18, I will say that the overhang itself isn't like... It's not crazy religious. There are not like... I mean, there's the odd relief that's kind of around the top of the actual landing itself that appear to just be a giant kind of retelling of Mayar's story and of the crafting of dragons and of different forges, even the crafting of arcanoids. So you assume some of the more important creations here. I will say that you can see that there are a few individuals that appear to be not dressed in explorers' clothes necessarily, but who appear to be going around to different squadrons. They seem like clerics or priests of some sort. They all seem to have the symbol of Maiar kind of pinned to them somewhere. Some will have it kind of clasped at the front of a cloak. There is a group of Cauldron Keepers that you do recognise one of the individuals in, who was down below and is kind of in the process of repacking a leather satchel. They don't seem to be particularly religious, but you do see that one of them has a map that they're shoving into a bag.
Yo.
So you gather that they might be going off on an expedition, and in fact, 2 of the clerics that you'd seen kind of milling about have headed up to that group and are speaking to them.
Can I...
Court.
Can I,
I need to keep it straight.
Can I prominently place, like, my Luron holy symbol on, like,
Sure.
like, put it, like, towards the front? Take off the mask, pull the hood back, pull, like, the hair, like, fully out.
Who's that?
Yeah, I'll make it, like, I'll like, try to make it as cleric as possible rather than doctor.
Sure.
I'm gonna go up to one of them.
One of the clerics?
What's he doing? He took his mask off.
I don't know, but he's going towards that group of people.
Sure, you're
Is he
just
joining a new religion?
I'm gonna walk up to her and be like, hello, I'm a bit lost, I'm afraid.
You're lost.
Yeah, I've been sent up here. We were looking for a Remo rails. We were sent to one of those. Apparently there was one near an abandoned temple, but...
You're speaking to a cleric?
Yeah.
Is that right? I don't make the rounds myself, but I could... we could ask if there's a Remoraz somewhere around. You're looking for a temple as well?
Yes, there's a weird abandoned one. I wanted to see it, part of spiritual journey and stuff like that.
The Temple of Eklios.
That one.
Well,
That one.
it's been abandoned for years. It's pretty dangerous to be heading out there. It's closer to Goza than it is to here, but I mean, I could give you rough directions. You'd probably be better off talking to one of the keepers that are heading out that way.
Oh, perfect. Which, could you point me the way to those keepers?
Sure, I can check to see if they're still around. They were supposed to leave at dawn this morning. Excuse me, and kind of heads off to speak to kind of an older dwarven individual getting on in the years. Doesn't look like he's just about to drop off, but he looks really kind of the wisest person in the space. It seems to have been working as a golden crypt for a while. They seem to go back and forth, speaking to one another, but at this time, you notice that the figure that the cleric had just been attending to looks up and goes, "Holy shit. Why are you here?"
I pull out the badge. We got approval. We are sent to go hunt a Remoraz for Clementine.
Look, I'm not gonna get involved. All I'm saying is people that are on a watch list usually not up here.
I don't think I'm on the watch list. Am I on the watch list? I don't think.
No.
And
Yeah. Do not worry. We're keeping them away from the ships.
I feel
We're
like
not
we
going
should
to go
be
near
friends.
I think that's a good idea.
Also did nothing to be on that.
I'll just be
I also
yeah.
did nothing to be on
Look,
the
I
watch
didn't
list.
put you on the watch list. I'm just saying keep your head down.
We're on official adventurer business.
Right. Not the first time I've heard that before.
In the best way.
We're going outside to fight Remoraz.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and we heard that
Well-
there's some sort of cool ancient temple that might be haunted or something. So that could be cool to explore.
Yeah, I overheard you asking
That
about
could-
the
I wanted to see
Temple of
that.
Eklios. That's whoa. Well, you might be in luck because Remoraz are like kind of a big deal at the moment. We're trying to cull the population a little bit.
Oh, really?
Do you guys do like a bounty system so not only can we do the job, we can also get money for killing it? Or am I just doing a civil duty for killing it?
Yeah, we're happy to help with the culling if it gets us, adventurers a bit of extra
I mean,
coin.
how many are you willing to kill? I don't know how capable you guys are. We've got quite the problem stretching down that way, and apparently down that way closer to Guildcrest as well. So that's kind of a problem.
How much do you pay per kill?
Well, we do it because it's a job. I don't know too much about bounties or anything like that, but guess you could look into it.
Who would authorize that kind of bounty?
The Ferric Age, probably.
Okay.
All
All right. Well, we one job at a time. We're already on contract.
Sure. Well,
So-
I mean, you don't have to get it settled now. As
If we get
terms of a
time.
contract. I mean, they're usually pretty well. Kind of stops himself. Some of them are pretty reasonable. If you tell them how many you killed when you're out there, they might give you an award for it. I don't know.
For everyone we kill, we gotta take more than just fangs. Maybe like other like, I don't know, eyes or something.
Let's stop bringing body parts into cities.
No, it's like token. Oh, but yeah, true. That happened that one time, didn't it?
I think maybe we pick some. Bringing demon heads into places is not an acceptable behavior.
That's different. No. That's different.
Whoa.
Again, that was
A demon head? What the fuck are you guys
It
doing?
was harvested. It was clean and harvested and boiled as
evil,
well.
Evil temple back in the Kreml, literal demon like with a massive beard.
You guys like
tried to kill us.
You hunt evil temples or
We're
something?
we literally said that before.
We're adventurers.
But specifically for temples?
Well, not
or?
specifically for temples.
No,
it's just that's where we've found ourselves for the past
Okay.
2 months.
We got there. We needed to get through the Kreml. The Kreml was shut because it was broken, so we had to go figure out that. And then all of a sudden there was something kidnapping babies or something, and then we had to kill
Not
that.
babies.
Young men.
Young
Whoa.
apprentices.
Babies.
Young men. Sorry.
He over exaggerates.
Well, right then. I suppose I could probably. I guess I could probably check in with some of my superiors if they know the specific location of the Temple of Equios. All I know is that it kind of points out to the side, to the left. It's kind of closer to Goza, but it's like in between Goza and Guildcrest. It's kind of up against this side of the mountain. It's like built right up on there.
Is there perhaps a map we can purchase off someone that has a layout of the overhang?
Oh, we don't have a layout of the overhang or anything, but I can give you a regular continent map. We only have scouting maps.
We've already got a continent map, but thank you.
Would you like to pass it on the continent map?
There. I will pass this to you guys in a
It's back.
moment. It's back. You guys are currently here in Renalorm,
Yay!
but you want to make it to... This is Goza here.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are here. This is Goza. This is Guildcrest Village. So you kind of want to go in between here or like around this area.
Mm.
That is map.
Yeah. No, you
Here's the map.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Question. Sorry to be bothering you so much. We're just
We're
trying to be
fine.
readily prepared.
Yeah.
How long would the trip be to this Temple of Equios?
Well, we don't really have any certain... We have trails. We don't have, like, paths, so it's not as easy to kind of travel up that way. So it'll probably take you a little bit longer. And it's snowing pretty heavy out there recently, so we're kind of snowed under a little bit, too. I'd say it'd probably take you a week and a half.
Thank God we bought rations. But also, now thinking about it, we're probably going to need to buy winter clothing. Because if we're on the top of a snowy mountain, we're going to freeze to death. Winter clothes.
We just talked about this before. My armor's not great in heat. How's it in cold?
What, wearing metal in a frozy tundra?
Well, because technically, because we talked about this, because Lorothia it's like cold desert. It's not.
Yeah, it's not scorching hot desert.
Yeah.
I'd say your clothes would be insulated a little bit. You don't get snow there, but it's colder than the average temperature that you've been in so far here. So I'd say you might need an extra jacket, but for the most part, like your shoes and everything are relatively well insulated.
I just need this.
We should buy some coats.
I need like everything. Wearing a dress.
I look at you, I'm just like, you need
Can I
armor.
command myself to be warm on the inside?
Command yourself to be warm
Just
on
be
the
like,
inside.
Fire!
What the fuck?
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
Jesus.
Just endlessly cast Sacred Flame on myself.
I don't think I have anything to Arcana. Yeah, that's a 7.
You could try. You give it a shot.
Yeah, I do give it a shot.
Sure. You're concentrating so hard that...
You too.
Yeah.
Do I have to fart a little bit?
I'm sorry. That was too easy. That was too easy.
Oh, you're gonna use the snake turd description at the end of sentence.
No.
The what?
I accidentally light my own fart on fire.
I was just gonna say you begin to kind of feel a little bit dizzy because you're kind of focusing so much. But if you want to shit yourself, I guess, who might have stopped you?
Who might have? Okay.
Dylan almost shoots himself, but he doesn't.
Good. All right, I'll pull up my map. Right. Oh, jeez. Do you have any spare coats lying around that we could maybe buy? Because, I mean, we could go buy them, but I don't want.
Well, I mean, we don't exactly hand out Cauldron Keeper coats. You kind of have to
be Cauldron Keeper. Do you have any just basic ones?
Upcycling.
Old ones that aren't like in rotation anymore, like out of date uniforms. Just something to keep us warm, just so it saves us a trip. If not, that's okay.
I mean, we might in our kind of lost and found section, but I can't promise they'll be good coats. They're just stuff that we've kind of salvaged off people that have been too stupid to really know their way around the mountain.
Right. Okay. Okay, gang, we might need to buy some coats first.
Well, you could always ask. I mean, our superior is right over there.
Eh?
He points to the guy that the cleric has just gone off to speak to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, he'll be right back in a second.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
Any time, I guess. Good luck. Don't get yourself killed.
Nah, we're the named. We got this.
It'll just be him that gets
killed.
Spread the word.
Just him?
Yeah.
No.
I'm fine.
He's bite-sized.
Yeah, you are pretty,
I'll never die.
My name is Kruger the Small, and I'm going to be one of the greatest adventurers you'll ever hear of.
Sure. Well, remember me when you get famous and all that.
And you are...
You guys finally asking for his name. My name's Henrik.
Henrik?
Yeah.
Sounding like a dwarf, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Spelled like Hendrik with a D or Henrik without a D?
Henrik without a D. And just, not a CK, but just a K at the end.
Henrik.
Yeah.
Ooh. What is it? Cauldron Keeper.
Yeah, he's a Cauldron Keeper. Yep.
Cool. I like him. I like Henrik. He's a guy.
He's a G.
I don't regret advertising it. It's like...
I just do like one of those like stoic like superhero poses. It's just like, yeah.
Avalon matches it with a kind
like full anime. It's just like, I'm gonna be one of the greatest adventures you're ever gonna hear of.
Well, good luck with that.
I'm gonna pat her guy's head. You sure are, buddy.
See, Abelard believes.
Yep.
Thanks, bud.
Like a gloved
Nadria, why are you cringing over there? Back me up.
Like
Don't cringe. Embrace the cringe.
My little metal-plated gauntlet, just like, yeah.
I go up to Nadria and be like, come on, we're gonna be famous adventurers. Come on.
Well, best of luck with that.
I keep nagging Nadria. I'm like, come on, say it, admit it. We're gonna be awesome. You just need to say it. Say we're gonna be awesome, and then I'll stop.
I hope I'm more famed for my medical work than I am for adventuring.
Nadria, say we're gonna be
Well,
awesome.
it'll be handy to have somebody who can stitch you up when you get into those fights with Remorazes.
I hope I don't have to use it. But like my little med kit, it's got like a little label on the back. I'm just like,
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm okay to go.
I got my diamond study defib on my fists.
Jesus Christ.
Revivify.
Okay. Eventually, the cleric comes back, and in tow you can see the wizened dwarf that he'd just been speaking to. Surprisingly, has like almost like a mohawk of hair, pure white.
Sick. Ooh.
And has these kind of braids at the back, and you can see various different glass beads within the twists and braids of this long beard that kind of hangs down to just below waist level. And is bushy, full. This is a guy who's seen a lot of action, a lot of, he seems almost grizzled a little bit. There are scars that are kind of running up his arms. And he appears to have the similar kind of white fur cloak that's pulled over the shoulders. He's almost got, it hangs a little bit lower and is a little bit more full. So instead of just being fixed as like a mantle around the shoulders, his kind of hangs down to a taper at the back, and that reaches down to the small of his back. He kind of squints at you all as the cleric waves over to you and then just kind of points towards him.
Thank you.
No problem. He heads over. You're all troublemakers, then I take it, heading out.
What?
You're troublemakers heading out.
Oh.
If you mean by adventurers, then yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Troublemakers.
Yeah,
causing trouble.
troublemakers. Yeah, absolutely.
Causing trouble for the Remoras.
That's exactly what I've been told.
Yeah.
You're looking for a temple or something as well.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I will say that when I've just been told that you were going out, I didn't expect you to be... I don't mean this in a bad way, but competent, perhaps. So,
All of us, or some of us in particular?
no, all of you just don't look like the type that typically comes through. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do.
Gotta prove them wrong, ain't I? Yeah.
I hope
I didn't mean that in a bad way. I just mean, and he kind of points to, gestures around to all of the dwarves that you can see that look like grizzled and have the tattoos like lining up their arms.
Fair
They're
enough.
all really brawny. Some of them have these long beards or like parts shaved out of their hair.
That was in full military uniform. He's just like, oh.
I flex just to try and like blend in, like.
Are you okay?
Itch.
Right, well,
Have you had any experience with the Remoras?
of course I have. I've been working these parts for centuries, so plenty of time spent with Remoras. Just don't let them grab you, because they'll, chow down on you, then you'll, be burrowed underground with them, so just watch
Thanks
out.
for the tip.
That's a good tip.
Yeah,
Do not get
just
eaten.
don't get eaten, stay away from the mouths if you can help it. Just be a bit smart about your positioning, that's what I say.
Do they have any weaknesses?
There's a few. Usually I just kind of hit it. So, I try to go for like the underside of the, underside of the jaw and all that.
Can't bite us if it doesn't have a jaw.
That's, true, I guess.
Nice.
Unless you...
That's my 12 wisdom coming in there, boys.
Can it fly?
No, they're burrowing down. So if you hear any like rumbling beneath you, then probably get out of the way.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, don't use fire on them. You'd think for like cold individuals, like they'd be susceptible to fire, but no, it doesn't seem to do fucking anything, so not waste your time.
Good to know.
Kruger just looks at Dilbert, and then his firing on his sword is just like, cool. Well,
Never get that thing to work.
yeah. Well, at least I have a heads up this time.
Yeah, well, fire's not typically prone to working on them, so...
Gotcha. No fire on the cold bug.
Yeah, cold also. not good.
Well, that you see, that makes sense.
Yeah, something to do with their gizzards and all that. They're like, I don't know, heater or something. So cold does nothing, fire does nothing.
It just bites, right? Does it have like an acid breath or like a, I don't know, like a stinger or anything like that?
I mean, there are fangs and all that.
That's all we need.
I've only ever seen them do some serious damage, rip people's heads off and all that with like a bite, and then they try and swallow them, and then they, under the ground. Sometimes they swallow you while you're alive too. So that's what I'm saying. They just be smart about your position. So
I love as he says swallow whole. I just look at Dilbert and me, and I'm just like,
oh yeah, he'd do both of you in one go.
Do both of us in one.
Yeah, like swallow
rat-
both of you.
where's Dilbert? We're small. He's saying the big bug can eat us both
yeah.
in one go.
Yeah.
That makes
It makes a lot of sense. Doesn't
I'm not planning on getting anywhere near this thing.
What do you mean?
Are you not going to help us fight?
I'm gonna shoot it with fire from a distance.
The guy just said fire doesn't work.
Well then, fuck, I'm screwed. What do I do then?
You punch it. You're good at
With
punching.
what? I want my hands apart. I'm like, with these? What is this supposed to do?
Dylan, maybe you could be a distraction.
So you're.
Now that I can do.
Oh, look, I leave it up to you to decide on what you want to do, but, just, be smart about your positioning, that's all I'll say.
Wonderful. But, sorry, what was your name?
My name's Argus.
Well, thank you, Argus.
Man, the worries, Argus Copper Grip, so you need anything, I kind of run the joint up here.
Copper
Grip.
Copper grip.
Oh, copper grip.
Mm-hmm. Also one of the families run along. Copper Grips.
So a member of the Ferricage? Or one of the families?
You're not sure if he specifically is a member, but the Copper Grips are one of the clans that preside over the Ferricage. But you're more than welcome to roll to learn a bit more about the political structure of Runalom if you'd like.
What do I roll for that? I think I should be proficient in history.
History.
15.
I reroll ones. Oh, that is a 19.
Oh, okay. The 19 and 15. I mean, I could do a little bit of a lore dump for you guys. I've written
Hot.
about this.
Lore dump.
Lore dump.
What do we ask?
Um,
By one of the families.
So the families that are currently presiding over the Ferricage, I'll say that even though you might have rolled well in the future and you might not have known this, hearing like whispers now that you're here, I've lowered the DC for it. You know that there are the runner kilns, obviously. There are also the Copper Grips, the Torments as well, Iron Lines, the Ferrex, the Doombrints, and the Kraglins. And as for the politics of Runalom, now bear with me, I'm just going to do a little bit of a lore dump monologue. We know we love these. Within Runalom, there are several families that rose to power from the old dynasties of dwarves, known as the Ferricage. Each of these families have established a specific control over the city and its tiers, either through deeds done for its people, involvement in architecture of the city itself, or their services to the Prussian Empire. Whilst not every family possesses total control of a tier, with several being shared amongst the esteemed clans of Runalom, it's generally considered that there is a specific hierarchy within the ruling families. This complex hierarchy was developed throughout Runalom's history, with the older clans that stemmed from the ancient dwarven dynasties typically occupying the upper portions of the city. Although they are all assigned to the protection and organisation of the city, Runalom's elite engage in a type of political chess in order to further their own aspirations. For the elite clans, their primary aim is to become elected to the seat of the Ferricine, which is the position that governs Runalom with the advice of the other clans contained within the Ferricage. So there is only one Ferricine, but advised by the Ferricage. Despite election being open to the citizens of Runalom, no matter their standing, the election of the Ferricine is only conducted from a select pool of candidates. In order to be considered for selection, the candidate must have significant influence within the city, both politically and within Runalom society as a whole, which is considered comparable to the current Ferricine. Ultimately, this requirement is postulated as ensuring the values of Runalom are accurately represented within their governing body by an integrated individual. But this generally means that the candidates are only ever selected from the same affluent families because they have an equivalent standing. The tenure of the Ferricine is subject to the whims of the people, and throughout history there have been clans that have dominated the Ferricage. Many alliances are formed within these ruling families, whilst others have been at each other's throats for centuries, engaged in a complicated dance of political intrigue. It's typical for the older elite clans that are descended from the ancient kingdoms across Cathora to ally together and occupy the upper echelons of Runalom and a Prussian society. Naturally, this has fostered a bit of resentment towards them in their similarly affluent but not as storied peers in the Pharaoh Cage. The extent of these rivalries runs deep, with many scandals and instances of subterfuge actually rife throughout the elite clans. The people of Runelorm will generally have more positive perspectives of some of the families over others, particularly in regards to the family that governs their tier, so the one that they typically work in, spend most of their time in, or that they live in. Earning the respect of the people of Runelorm is crucial, for not only the longevity of the clan's tenure as Ferrocine, but also in order to maintain their connections and influence within the city. Currently holding the position of the Ferrocine under the Arkhammer Kern Kraglin is the Kraglin family. And they are also one of the original families that are located in the inner works with the Torments. See, anything else? You rolled a 19?
No.
I will say that that's probably all you.
Fair enough. That was a lot. I can imagine Isaiah.
Yeah, I reckon you'd probably read a bit about the Ferrocine and the Pharaoh Cage within your research that you did yesterday, so I'll give you info about the Ferrocine as well. The role of the Ferrocine is to defend, protect, and govern over Runelorm and its seat of power within the Prussian Empire. As a result of the city's involvement in the overall progression of the Empire and its contributions to the creation of weaponry and mechanical devices utilised throughout its society, the Ferrocine is considered an incredibly well-respected and hailed individual in Opus. Typically, the Ferrocine will maintain political relations with other seats of power within the Empire and beyond, owing to its relative neutrality within Wyladium. So, for the most part, what I mean by neutrality is that whilst it is technically a part of the Prussian Empire, given that it is a part of the dividing line of the Dawn Vale, that kind of separates it a little bit from the rest of Opus. So they often used to trade with Lundosa and with other larger cities within the Kingdom of Acheron before it was essentially prohibited. Though you will still get the sense, if you talk to a couple more of the people within Runelorm, that they're generally much more sympathetic to perhaps the Kingdom of Acheron than in other places in Opus. So they won't generally call them dwellers at all, or, you know, have that same kind of mentality towards them as being evil or negative. The Ferrocine, to that end, is given an advisory role within the Prussian Empire's Auroric Assembly, and like much of the Pharaoh Cage, has frequent connections with the Grimoisian Legion. In order to be elected as Ferrocine, the chosen individual must be an integrated individual, who is integrated heavily within the city of Runelorm and possesses significant political and social connections. Whilst there are no specific rules surrounding the minimum duration of the Ferrocine's appointment, generally there is quite a quick changeover as a result of the political landscape of Runelorm. It's really anybody's game, and it all is kind of focused within these clans that are part of the Pharaoh Cage.
Would we know how long the current Ferrocine has been in power for?
I would say probably not. That people typically wouldn't speak of that. I would say generally it does change over quite quickly. You remember the Doombrins being in charge when you'd been reading about them. However, they were only recently ousted, so you'd say probably maybe 5 years at the most. Okay,
so the time when Isaiah was like in Runelorm last, the Doombrins would have been in power.
Probably, yeah. Okay. Which was, I think, only 2 cycles ago. Yeah. So.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what you guys get.
I imagine I've got some of that info, like from Isaiah as well, being the Snog
And I'd
ears.
say your time in the Under Archive, you flick through a lot of books that are kind of speaking of this sort of stuff, and you've heard whispers of different clans and things like that, different political figures within Runalorm. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And this guy seems to be affiliated with the Copper Grips.
Copper Grips.
Argus Copper Grip.
Could be a good ally to have.
Well, he doesn't seem to hate you, so
That's a
you
good
can try and butter
that
him
is,
up.
that is a very positive start for us.
Yeah. You can try and butter him up, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Well, Argus, we're the named. Remember it. We're gonna be super famous one day.
Sure.
Remember the name.
Remember the name.
10% luck, 20% skill. You guys know that?
Yes.
Remember that? Yeah.
100%.
100%
No.
reason to remember the name.
That's it.
Yeah.
10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will. Alright.
Nope.
Except we don't have anyone called Will, so.
I know a guy called Will.
So do I.
Yeah. Shout out Will.
Shout out to Will.
Shout out
to all
Will.
Wills.
Well.
Oh, I know a Will too. I know the Will that you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah. We
Is
know Will.
everyone's separate Will a nice guy?
I don't know a Will.
Horrible.
Wow.
Bad person.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Yeah, I don't have a good will.
Shout
Hates Anders cat.
out to all the good Wills.
Goodwill hunting.
If you exist.
If you exist. Good Will.
Good
Good
Will. What are we
Wills.
saying that the ratio of Wills being
Are we,
good versus
wait, does that
bad
mean we need to
is off?
hunt the good Wills?
Yes, because we need to protect them.
Or hunt them down.
No,
Is
we
is
hunt-
that why there's only bad Wills left?
No, we hunt the Goodwills to put them in a Goodwill zoo. So that way.
God.
Disturbing.
That is, yeah.
It
We're
sounded,
not,
it sounded
don't
nicer
worry,
in
Will,
my head.
we're not
This
gonna
will
put you in a
hold
zoo.
open the door for Grandma. Now it's in the cage.
Now he's in the cage.
in the cage.
Get in the Goodwill Zoo.
Anyway,
Okay.
yes. Okay. Yeah. So we were wondering, because we're going to be heading out that way, if you guys had some coats, you know, for the cold that you're not using.
I mean, we have courts that we've taken off like dead people and shit. If
That's
you want
fine.
that.
Were they washed?
No.
Well, we can wash them.
We can wash them. As long as are they like warm coats that are gonna provide some help in the elements out there?
Maybe. I don't know. I've not gone through the lost and found by myself, really. So maybe. I assume some of them are probably smart enough to do that. It snows up there like all year round, like a lot.
Well, we are pretty high up in the mountain
Yeah.
range, aren't we? So that
Yeah.
makes sense. I mean, yeah, it would save us a trip going down. Ideally, we would want to get going.
Yeah, sure. Well,
Can you point us to the last and found, please?
sure. He leads you over there. There's a kind of eclectic mix of coats here. Some of them are warm and fur-lined and look like they'd help you in the elements. Some of them are like ratty, like some of them have holes in them. Yeah.
Are there any like blackish coats or like reddish coats that were kind of?
Yeah. Roll an investigation check for me.
Oh hell yeah! I got nothing to this. Sure you have the perception.
Yes, I'm sure you're rifling through them.
That's a
That's a
one.
decent roll. It's a 16 actually.
Oh, it looks like
A 1.
It looks like a 1 from my angle.
It's a 16.
With a 16, yeah, you can find one that's fur-lined in pretty good condition. It smells a little bit musty, but
That's fine.
it's otherwise in great condition.
Well, I'd like hold it up and like some more incense just starts blowing into the coat.
Sure.
Just getting the.
Argus kind of.
What, do you not like the smell of incense?
No, it just went up my nose. Like, bit much.
They're a dwarf or halfling sized. Is there a gnome or halfling sized coat for me?
I'll say we'll just use your 16 because I don't want to have to make everybody roll for it. But
Nice.
yeah, they're
Have like it's nice coordinated uniforms. Everybody. This one really matches the vibe, you know.
yeah, relatively
Maybe
easy
like
to
a rainbow
find.
one.
As long
They
as I just need a
Out of
functional
spite.
me sized coat.
sure. I'd say it hangs a little bit low on you, but
That's fine.
I like the idea.
It's
That
not
That,
it's
to be
like
fair,
a
most things
rainbow
would.
coat with like
Yeah.
champ
Most
on the
things would.
back.
It was a hard find to get the coat
It's-
that I have while I've been on the road.
It's not too bad. I would say the rest of you will get passable coats. They seem relatively warm. They're not too moth-eaten or kind of gnawed at by rats or anything.
Can Adria's coat be like a jumper with 3 hugs in the front?
With what?
3 hugs in the front.
Yeah, absolutely.
This one will fit you nicely.
It's like, what, like
It's a
gross
pink.
pink rainbow color?
Yes.
It's like that weird salmon off color.
Nadria,
match the vibe.
would you like to trade jackets?
What one would you have?
June, this is an important jacket that I don't want you to. Just don't break it. But it's a jacket that's, I believe, black.
How
on-
tall is June?
Pretty tall. Not as tall as Nadria, but
Don't even worry
the
about
second
it.
tallest. Like,
I thought Abelard was the second tallest.
Abelard is-
the tallest.
Abelard
Ablard
is
is
tallest.
6 foot. That's 6 whatever.
I could be whatever.
I'm not small if that's what you're asking. Where,
No, I was just asking because I remember we used to say
You were-
June was like 5'9", 5'10"-ish. So
Yeah.
that would be, I mean, if you changed your height, you could probably
I would.
pass it
To
off.
like make it
It's
fit.
also just a big enough jacket. I imagine you could just slip on a jacket, right?
It's big on you.
Yeah, like it's not a small jacket. It's
Okay.
not oversized, but
You want to swap jackets?
we can swap jackets if you would like.
What does your jacket look like?
Fur inside. Well, it's a lamb wool inside and I think a black exterior or blue exterior.
I thought it was pink.
It's
It's
not.
pink.
It's pink.
Yeah.
It's pink like the thing.
It's pink,
It's also pink.
but it's less of a garish pink. It's much more of a jacket.
It's okay, you can keep your jacket. I'll
Okay.
just have this shitty one, it's fine.
Honestly, feelings hurt.
You want me to take the jacket?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Are you saying this in character?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Like Abelard's wearing like a classy black like trench coat. He's quite happy with himself.
Pink.
My coat would look like
On the mini.
a well-worn, like kind of gnawed at brown fur coat with a massive blood stain on the back.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's like,
I guess
It's
that's
like a
what-
suspicious like
Yeah.
slash mark.
yeah. Like, awesome.
Dilbert's one is like a radioactive hazmat suit that's fireproof. It's like a biohazard thing. It's like a full like.
Let's go.
It's a well-worn bad gas mask.
Does A9 need a coat? Does A9 feel the temperature like we do?
I don't know.
And
Would say
needs
probably
clothes other than a boiler suit.
I'd say probably not necessarily, as
Lucky
like
bastard.
like you would still feel chilly, but I don't think it affects you in the same way.
Do you want my jacket?
I think I'm fine for the time being, unless the oil in my joints goes
Do you want
solid.
to get rid of your jacket?
No, I just wanted to be nice.
Yeah, really hating on the jacket.
Fuck.
I wanted you to take your jacket. You said your jacket was important.
That's cool.
June, I will swap jackets with you if you would like.
No, it's.
But only if you want.
You said your jacket was important. I didn't want to take that away from you.
Free hug. It's the rainbow
Yeah.
stuff.
I offer a hug.
Fuck
Come
off.
on, the jacket says
Fuck
so.
Off.
Come on, come on.
No.
It's a really cozy warm woolen jumper, but it's just hideous.
I like that.
Come
like,
on.
Is there like a picture of someone's cat in the back that we don't know whose cat, but like had their.
Yeah, now there is.
Nigel is just like hunched over, like, no. No.
I like the captain's back. He's very nice. I think very well.
Hug anyone, since
Matches
Nigel
the
won't give
colour
me a
scheme
hug.
and
I'd
everything.
love
Yeah.
one.
I got hug
I'll
back.
hug back.
I thought it was too short one. Just Abelard.
Abelard, come on,
Abelard
Abelard.
leans over.
Hug.
Just
Yeah, Val,
Like a
Abelard, and
nesting
Kruger.
mother owl. It's like,
Just us three, group hug with two shorties and then just tall.
yeah.
I gave Kruger a kiss
Where?
on the cheek.
He's
Oh.
a child.
Yeah, he's a child.
Wait,
So
Kruger's
true.
a child.
I'm 17.
Oh, okay. Maybe
I
not then.
blush a little. I'm like,
Ew.
This is so weird. What the fuck?
thank you, I think. Can I roll an inside check?
Sure. I don't know what you're
Are you hitting on me or are you just
No,
are you
no.
fucking with me? I rolled really high. Are you?
I'm not hitting on you, no.
Okay, you're fucking.
Oh, it's actually something I saw. That, I don't know if I told you about.
I
It's
just
another
blushed.
random thought. Whenever you get players like inciting other players, ask the player to roll deception or persuasion.
Oh.
And don't
that
say which
Yeah.
one is which.
Yeah. I saw that the other day. I thought that was
Yeah.
really nifty because
Cool.
it's a great way of doing lying in player characters. You're like, I'm either persuading, and if I do a shit job of that, you think I'm lying. Or-
Yeah, there you go.
Mm. I just kind of lightly shoulder punch Val. Like, yeah, cool. Real awkward.
I look at Krigar and go like, fucking look at this idiot.
I tackle Dilbert. Come here.
Take the mic.
I think he just.
You can't.
I like look down in shame and I look across like the military commander next to us and I just look down again.
Look, I mean, whatever you guys want to do, like. It's cool.
I don't know what that was either, man. All right.
Well, you made it weird.
You made it weird.
No, I think
I'm
that was a
chuckle- I
pretty
am-
normal thing to do. You don't kiss the homies.
I'm having a hearty chuckle.
Dilbert's just dying.
I
I
don't come from a very
Kicking and
affectionate
screaming.
family, so no, that we don't kiss the homies.
That's pretty sad.
I don't think that's an affectionate thing. Typically, we just do it with close friends.
Disagree.
In at least the Rothian
Yeah.
we do. It's just something
Okay,
we do amongst friends.
I didn't mean to
Like a greeting.
offend. It's just something I'm not familiar
We
with.
typically don't like kiss on the cheek. It's kind of like a mwah mwah, like in.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
We just kiss on the lips.
Say slashly.
Everyone's like,
Slay.
I no.
Slay.
I don't do that either. No, I'm cool. Thank you.
You're not cool, you're kissing.
what?
What do they have to do?
If you don't kiss people on the lips,
Is-
you're not cool.
is-
Is that what you
No,
mean?
not that kind of
the
cool.
homophobic
I mean,
one
like,
in
I'm
this
cool.
campaign?
I'm good.
Lame, Kruger's lame.
What? What did you say?
Krigar just said gay derogatory for real.
Yeah,
No.
true.
It's not
homophobe.
No,
It's not me, boy.
It's not homophobe. It's everyone. Kruger just doesn't kiss.
Wow.
Wow.
Homophobe, racist, and misogynist.
It's everyone.
And a xenophobe.
Don't get it quickly.
It's everyone.
Kruger, you do have to kiss Val on the lips now to prove that you're not.
You're homophobic.
No.
It's in the rule book.
No.
That's
No.
that is
That's a step
weird.
too far for me.
Anyway, we have our colours. Let's get going in to fight the giant deadly insect lizard thing.
Are you sure we're done kissing?
Yes.
You want some?
Which way, please?
Whoa. So don't. June will kiss anyone. June almost kissed a
Kruger's
mouse.
bright red.
Didn't you do the whole like? to parachute?
I leant into Parashev one time and he didn't also lean in. It was pretty awkward.
Oh yeah.
Big or. Big
That's
or.
right.
Anyway.
Anyway,
I
yes.
looked at I looked at is it like bait
That
we
was
can
so
use for Remoraz? Like a hunk of meat attached to a hook?
I mean, I think
I thought
you
I was gonna
all
be
of it a bit. So if you
Yeah.
make enough noise, they'll probably know you're there.
Don't give my job to a hunk of meat. At least I can talk.
I like pull out my rope and I'm just like I mean I can tie you with
Well,
the
I
rope.
mean,
You don't need to tie
Technically-
me up. I will walk out there.
Technically, you're all kind of hunks of meat, aren't you? So like,
No?
As long as I
A9's
can
not.
run away, then I'll be fine.
I was talking about the people that are visibly
Oh, fair.
like me.
Oh, A9, you're gonna be fine.
Yes.
Well, they'll probably still hear you.
No, A9's fine. A9, you're all good.
That's right, A9. You should walk in front of us and make much noise.
You can walk in front of me if you want.
I mean, I feel like that's not the brightest idea. Dilbert, aren't you the bait?
Well, yeah.
So you're in front.
Well, yeah.
Onward, Dilbert.
So it's
I guess we picked our baits.
I suppose so. I never said you needed bait, to be honest. I just said, worry about your positioning, but if you want to sacrifice one
What
of
am
you...
I gonna do if I'm not the bait then? That's what the whole
Well, I
thing
can
was.
hit it with my sword. There's just, like, fire and stuff. So,
Yeah, fire is like
Wait.
my whole thing.
well,
Can't you do anything else other than fire?
I
you can still
punch.
hit it, can't you?
Well, sure.
Well, there you go.
I haven't actually tried
You
doing anything
well,
other than fire.
Maybe this would be
That's
the perfect time.
concerning.
Remember, no fire, no coals.
I kind of look at my hands and go like,
What am I?
What am I? What am I if I'm not the flame?
What am I if I'm not an agent of ice?
Actually, that's a lie. I'm pretty sure I've used lightning powers.
I think you have.
Like, I'm pretty sure I've used.
I think
shock-
I've seen you use cold powers too.
No, I haven't used ice. I've used
I think
lightning
you
and
have
fire.
used cold power.
Did I use cold? I used cold for you once.
I don't think I've used. I can use poison. There's a.
Fire,
There's quite a few.
fire, cold, acid, poison, lightning.
That's a blindness spell. What?
Yeah.
All the chromatic
Yeah,
dragon.
all the
elements.
chromatic dragon elements or powers I can use
Yeah, which
in
is
my
kind of
fist.
based
Cool.
mechanically.
mechanically.
Well,
Is there a group we can like tag along with? That would be a lot more convenient. Safety in numbers, maybe. That's going to the
no, I'm not
Gilcrest
sending. I'm not sending anybody out to Gilcrest until next week.
next week.
We're all kind of heading back down that way.
Okay.
They kind of need us to scout to make sure there's nothing from the dwellers or whatever across the mountain range, I suppose.
Okay.
I am pretty sure that there's a group up in the Iron Set, so they should probably be coming back. I suppose it depends on. We're expecting them back 2 weeks' time, so I suppose you might come across them.
Okay. Well, I guess this is what adventurers do.
I like look at the kind of like, I guess onwards then.
Yeah,
Everyone comfortable in their jumpers.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you again, by the way.
Nobody wants to die.
What's new?
Oh, nice.
Onwards.
For real.
Out into
We
the
go.
out into the fucking cold.
Yeah, woo.
Onwards.
Oh yo.
Is there any
Guys, we're finally
more
leaving the
interesting
mountain.
stuff in Lost and Found other than just jackets?
Yeah, we're gonna go straight
With
back
the
in.
16, you can see there are a couple of necklaces. There's some bracelets as well. There's a staff.
Do the necklaces look golden or silvery?
Yeah, anything of value?
Is the staff cooler than the one that I
I
have?
don't think if there's anything of value.
Well, if there's anything of value,
They would have taken it.
it's. I mean, it depends on how much value you assign to a necklace, really. Like, sentimental value, there probably is quite a bit. If you're looking specifically for gems or like a gold worth amount, I would say they've probably taken it out of the Lost and Found. The necklaces themselves, I'd say you see 3 in there. One of them is just leather that's kind of been bound together. Another one looks a little bit like it's been made out of bronze, and another one appears to be brass. They're not particularly ornate by any means. They're mostly just pendants or chains.
I'd like to take all the necklaces if I could, since there's only 3.
You're taking them in front of Argus?
Yeah, is he bothered?
I mean, if you take them, then
Why
you
am I
can find
picking
out.
them up?
Thought the steel was only for courts.
No, sorry, I just thought this was left behind stuff. What,
I
just
suppose it's
upcycling?
lost and found, but what if that person comes back for it?
Upcycling. Putting to use
Just
what
put-
others have left behind.
Just put back some necklaces. They don't have
Sure,
any
look,
value.
if you want to take them, be my guest. They are in the lost and found, but I prefer to be a bit more optimistic about things.
Okay.
You
Cool.
take them still.
One back.
Which one?
The last one, which was bronze.
Brass.
There was a brass, there was a
Yeah.
bronze, and there was a leather.
Mhm.
And so I put the brass one back.
Sure.
Can I examine the staff?
Yeah.
Let's take nothing but valuables.
Roll either an investigation check or an arcana check for me, please.
They're both +0, so I suppose it doesn't matter at all. 13.
Okay, with the 13, at first this seems like a regular staff. It's not a quarter staff. It is a staff that typically looks like it might be used by druids or people that are arcane practitioners.
Cool.
It has a kind of curved over top, almost like a hockey stick, but it's like a gnarled bough of a tree. It seems to be half carved, and there's like bark that's kind of covering one side of it. You think it might have some sort of use, not just as a focus, but there might be some enchantment that's applied to it, but with a 13, not too sure what it might be.
Can I pick it up and give it to Val?
Sure.
Be
You
like,
pass it over.
do you have one of these?
No.
I've got one already. Like, it's pretty cool. I thought you might want this.
I'll take it. Can I take it and then what can I do? Try.
Yeah, you can just use it as like a walking
I can
stick.
just walk in
Yeah.
I
We're going on
think
a
you can use
walk,
the spellcasting focus.
You can
Yeah.
use it as a focus, yeah.
which is also
Sorry.
useful.
That's good. That's useful.
There is also an enchantment applied to it,
If
but
you
you
attune
would
to it.
need to attune to it to find out what it is.
magic item.
That's
Yay!
You don't know what it is.
Let's go! Let's go!
So yeah, you're gonna take like a rest.
I
and you
I
can-
have a +1 staff already, so I don't need
Do you have the name for the staff so Mark can add it, or a tune and give name?
No, it's a custom item.
Ooh.
Let me just
The
try
drink
and find it for you. Where are- I will find it in the break, and I will tell you what it does. My apologies.
Q.
Have to go through a massive list, and I can't find it.
Big list of magical items.
I have a huge list of magical items.
Holly's mega list of magical items.
Me when I mega list.
When I mega on my list.
Mega on my list.
We're
Magical
going
item.
feral again.
I know.
Out. That's
So you guys are heading out into the wilds.
Onward.
yes.
Wee.
Let's leave the
Okay.
mountain.
Argus waves you off, gives you direction to the side where,
Thanks, Argus.
pleasure, no worries, good luck. Remember what I said, no fire, stay away from the mouse, you'll be fine.
Smart positioning. Got it.
Exactly.
Did anyone ask what its weakness was?
Hitting it is fine. Don't use fire. Don't use cold because it doesn't do shit. And don't get near its mouth because it will burrow if
Don't
it
we
goes.
push it off a cliff?
We'll find out. I can try and push it off a cliff.
That could be fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
Give it a
unless one of
shot.
us dies.
I'll give it a shot.
No, we want to harvest the body.
Exactly.
That's true. We do need. We just need fangs.
You just need one fang.
No,
Surely
but
one
no, but
fang.
more fangs the better. That means more money.
Surely some of them will survive being crushed against rock 100 foot down.
Nah, don't worry, we got this. We'll kill like 2 or 3. We'll take all of its fangs, and then fucking we roll on a bank. Then we'll get to the temple, and then we'll do the chain thing, and then we do that. Then we come back. Payday.
How ambitious.
Very ambitious.
Payday.
Then we go here.
It's like simple task.
Yes.
What was the name of the temple again?
Temple of
Equios.
Equios.
Did we find out what that was?
You didn't really ask him too many questions about the temple itself, more about the Ramaraz.
More like Equios is a name.
Equios is a goddess, actually. I forget. You guys got a little bit of
did.
the origin story, didn't you?
It's somewhere in the notes. There has been the Temple of Equios has been mentioned before.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
so. Too.
I got info on it last time.
Nigel
I just can't remember what I gave you. as info.
The Temple of Equios.
Created as an, well, this is all on a Temple of Equios. Because I rolled like a 5.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It was during the shit learning rolls.
I mean, the temple of so Equios is the god of ghosts, openings, boundaries, and memory. Whoa, that my brain. She's also sometimes associated with the goddess of death, or like the afterlife.
Yay, death god.
I think you guys found out that the temple is thought to be her final resting place, where she was separated
Yeah,
and
that's right.
created
That sounds
into
familiar.
a spirit or a veil.
Yeah. That is my favorite.
But you don't know too much more about the temple itself, unfortunately.
Oh gee.
Okay. So you guys begin to head away from Argus. He waves you off, gives you the directions as best he can.
Mm-hmm.
You can see as you get closer to the edge of this opening, this landing, that people are going in every which way. They're usually traveling in groups of about 5, but you can see some pairs that are kind of trekking down. There appears to be winding paths that are kind of carved out in more like trails, like hiking trails rather than roads or anything like that. And they kind of move steeply up mountainsides. Some people have goats with them. There are others with elk that are kind of taking them slowly down these winding paths. As you're stepping out, some of them seem to wind down in front of you directly, and others, majority of them, kind of pass off to the side. None of them seem to be going in the direction that you guys are heading in at the moment. But
We're going the right way.
as soon as you guys get up to the landing, you are immediately onslaughted with this kind of sharp chill that seeps into your bones, and you kind of pull your cloaks closer towards yourselves. The wind itself is blowing a gale up here, so high up above these mountain peaks. You guys appear to be like almost at the highest peak. Not quite there, but they're really up there, and it definitely shows in the wind chill that kind of bites across your face, ruffles all of your hair. You get that immediate cold chill on your ears. Kind of tuck your hands into your pockets a little bit, and brace yourselves against this wind. In front of you just seems to be an endless expanse of snow. There are some footprints and depressions in the actual snow from people that are moving forward. Jack.
Sorry. You can't look at me.
I'm just looking around the table
Just
and then I
don't
go...
ever look at me.
That's what I
Because
see.
I'll make a face.
Was it the word depression?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
went like...
A sad. You can see that there are footprints and different marks in the actual... in the blanket of snow itself.
That time I looked for something.
Everything is kind of a sheet of white that descends over the top of this mountain, and there's this flurry of snow that's kind of just making its way through this fog. It's pretty hard to see far in either direction. I'm sorry, even in front of you is incredibly hard because it just kind of drops off. You can see a little bit in the distance. I say Abelard, you can see that there's an avalanche that actually kind of falls down from one of the top peaks and kind of rumbles across.
Just clap really loud. We all
Like,
Will cause an
like in the
avalanche.
Simpsons movie?
Yeah.
You can see that there is some sparse life and trees. They appear to be mostly barren of leaves, but they do grow and stretch up from the side here. There are some boulders and things that are kind of pushed into different places. There's some torches close by the actual overhang itself. You assume for when it gets too hard to see, you can at least find your direction back, and they appear to be arcane torches, so they're not affected by the weather. But you guys make your way into the direction that Argus had pointed you in, and I will say that's a pretty good place for us to leave off.
Yo,
for
guys, we're
Are we
finally
gonna
out of
get
the
some
mountain.
This-
combat this
We're
session?
outside.
We're
gonna fight a
outside.
wizard.
We're
I'm
outside
sorry,
after
I'm
how
out.
many goddamn sessions of being inside?
Yeah,
We're in the elements, baby.
Yeah, welcome to
That is
the
good.
outside
We
world.
did it. We made it outside.
Well done, everyone.
Very
Seeing
fresh
the
air.
sun against like
Um,
white snow.
Yeah.
That'll end our first part of this session. So thank you all so much for joining us. We very much appreciate it. We will see you guys in the next little bit for anybody who is on Twitch and for anybody who's on YouTube. We'll see you guys in the next part. Always a pleasure. Never a chore to DM for you all. Much love, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.